Hello, my name is Cyril Stephen White. It is Thursday, June 5th, 2014. I am 48 years old and I live and work in Chelsea, Michigan, which is about 20 minutes west of Ann Arbor, Michigan, about an hour west of Detroit. We live on a 26-acre horse farm just outside of Chelsea with my wife, Leslie, of 25 years, daughter, Reagan, 20 years old, Sasha, 18 years old, and Nina, 14 years old. This is my story, and this is a video for my personal website, cyrillswhite.com, where I hope to help other people do what I did and change my life in midlife for the better, and to just provide a positive influence on anyone out there who wants to live for their passions, do good for others, and thereby doing good for themselves and the world as a whole. So I've been a financial advisor for almost 20 years. Before that, I started off as a computer engineer for a couple years. Couldn't stand that, found out that I liked working with people better than computers, and found out that I liked business challenges and the growing of businesses and how business worked. So I went off and got my MBA at the very expensive but great University of Chicago in their weekend program. I flew to Chicago or drove or took the train for just over 2.5 years. When I started the program, we had no children. When I finished the program, we had 2 young baby daughters. And I thought that I wanted to be a investment banker, someone powerful, someone who had a lot of money, someone who was successful in business. When I finished the University of Chicago program, I wanted to move to a big city, Chicago or New York, and do my time as an investment banker. But as I said, we had 2 small daughters at that time, and we had a nice house in the country. We both, my wife and I, love the country, love the outdoors. And my wife, although she would have followed me, as she said tearfully on the couch when we had the discussion, I knew that it just wasn't in the cards and it wouldn't have been good for my family. So I started at a large firm in Detroit and paid my dues there. Always knew that I wanted to have my own firm. I'm not good at working for other people. I'm good at working, I think, in a team. However, I need to be the alpha dog and the leader. And I put my dues in there, learned a lot, and when an opportunity presented itself in my wife's family business in structured settlements, I used that to leave, and we bought a farm, the farm in Chelsea, which had a building, an outbuilding, milk house, where I turned that into our office, our first office, hence the name White House Financial, and the rest is history. And we built that business over 13 years. Had built it by just acquiring clients one by one, doing the best job we could for each and every single client. And it was great. I loved what I did. But over the years, still trying to be that Wall Street investment banker, but in a small town of Chelsea, felt like I was 2 people. I always was a person that was aspiring to be the best I could be at everything that I did, physically, mentally, emotionally, and while I still continued to compete in physical activities, Ironman triathlons, martial arts, my physical side kept getting more and more challenging, and I was achieving more and more physical goals and achieving more and more business goals, but I was neglecting the most important thing and distancing myself more and more from my family and from what was important in my life, and really trying to become that greedy Wall Street investment banker, starting to drink more and distance myself from my family more, but then also doing more and more extreme physical activities, thinking that would balance the emotional and spiritual and mental deficiencies that I had. I really started to become 2 people, and it wasn't good for me and my family. And I was trying to figure out a way. I started getting somewhat tired of the business tired of chasing money all the time and having everything I did revolve around money in the business, and trying to make more and more money, and all the while accumulating more and more debt at the same time. I made more and more money all the time, but I felt like I was running on a treadmill. And then a couple of things happened in my life where things really came to a head, and a couple of major challenges happened in my life that made me rethink who I was and what I was doing and what was important in my life, and who I really wanted to be now that I was, probably more than halfway through my life, and how I wanted to be known by my children and my family when I die, and what I wanted to accomplish over the next, hopefully, half of my life. So I started trying to align our business with my passions for fitness and personal development, and trying to be the best person you can be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And at the same time, I discovered I was taking jiu-jitsu classes at a gym in Ann Arbor. And at that gym, when we were doing our jiu-jitsu classes, which were upstairs, on the first floor, they were having group workouts, doing things like rowing, lifting Olympic weights, dropping their weights, throwing their weights, playing my most favorite heavy metal music, blasting the entire time. And just watching those, it was very motivational, and I had no idea what it was. So I looked it up, and it was something called CrossFit. So the jiu-jitsu school ended up closing, and I just completed a full Ironman triathlon, and I thought I was in good shape. And I went into this gym to see what they were all about, and see if I wanted to join. And they put me through my first workout, and I thought I was going to die. And that made me think that maybe there was something to this different workout routine. And just as in my business life I was neglecting things personally that I needed to take care of that were important, I was obviously neglecting things physically, even though I could do a full Ironman triathlon, swimming, biking, and running, that I wasn't taking care of in my fitness routine. So it was called CrossFit, and that was about 2 years ago. And so I was so excited about CrossFit and this thing that I found, and had no idea that the community and the people I met were just phenomenal people, and developed friendships with many of the people that I worked out with, this common bond. And you go out with them, and I'd go to other cities, and I'd go to CrossFit facilities in other cities, and the people were the same, and just great people. It felt like you had friends all over the world automatically, with this common intense fitness bond, and this desire to just be not just in great shape and have huge biceps, but be all around great people. And the pushing yourself in that physical way every day with others makes you want to be a whole person and be a better person in all the other facets of your life. And this is exactly what I needed at this point in my life. At the same time, my daughter Reagan was going through a very tough time in her 19 years old, 20 years old in her life. And she was at a very low point with drugs, alcohol, abusive boyfriends, working all night, working really hard. And she was still a very hard worker, working nights, 12 hours as a waitress. And she hit a low point in her life, and I took her to a CrossFit workout just to watch. And then she tried one, and it's changed her life for the better. And she is all in and just loves it, and is doing so many other things that are positive. And at the same time, my wife, who's a great athlete and who's always tried to stay in shape, but was having some less than great results at doing the treadmill and the elliptical thing that she was doing. She was motivated. She wasn't going to be motivated by me because I'm her husband, and I never know what I'm talking about or doing. And we're both very competitive, so we can't admit to the other that something was a good idea. And my wife assumed that it was too hard because I was doing it. I've always been into fitness, but she saw that my daughter was doing it and the changes that it made in her, and that prompted my wife to do it. So and at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate the great things about CrossFit into our financial planning and investment business. And a couple of things happened in the business, and that just, I felt like I was hitting my head against the wall trying to do that. And then it came to me that perhaps I should see if I could sell that business and just do a CrossFit business and shift from the money business to having a business that's all about trying to build better people, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I saw something called SEAL Fit, which has CrossFit relationships, and that motivated me. Mark Devine, who's the founder of SEAL Fit, former Navy SEAL, kind of had all of the things that I was looking for to help me get back to the person that I know I am and that I'm trying to be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And all of this just came together at the same time. And we sold the investment management business in March of 2014. As much as I love that business and love the clients, really, more so just the clients and the people that we built one by one over 13 years, it was very difficult to let that go. But I never felt for a minute that this wasn't the right thing to do. And it is very risky and very scary. But at the same time, it's just so exciting, and it just feels like the absolute right thing to do. And I can't think of a better business than trying to help people become better people. I mean, what better business is there than that? And through not just some formula because it's a good business, but because it's done it for its owners, me, my wife, my daughter. And I've seen it work for countless other people, but we've lived it. I can't imagine that a business like that would fail. So we are opening one just on the outskirts of Chelsea, and we'll see where that leads. And literally, we have nothing in the building. We just got the keys this week, and we were just approved for our name by CrossFit, which is Country Spirit CrossFit. And we're going to make a go of it and try to do the best we can. And we're very excited, and hopefully it'll turn other people's lives around just like it did for us. Thanks for listening to my babbling, and look forward on this website and our other websites, countryspiritcrossfit.com. I still have the financial business, which is purely fee-based only, so only helping people, because we do have a lot of expertise in that area. I'm not going to throw that away for 20 years, but we're just purely helping people on an hourly basis and helping them make the right financial decisions also. So thank you for your time, and shoot me an email. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.